Greetings, dear friends. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday and happy Thanksgiving to all of my Canadian friends. Here we are with our usual Monday check-in, our inner compass forecast. So just land here. The inner compass forecast is all about getting in touch with your inner guidance, with your rhythm, with your intuitive nature. We're all intuitive by design. However, we need to have reminders. I need reminders. And that's what my intention is with these sessions. So the first thing that we do on these sessions is just feel into what phase of the moon we are influenced by this week. And it is by the last quarter phase of the moon that arrives today, actually. Arrives today, and it's in the sign of Cancer. When the moon is in the sign of Cancer, regardless of what phase it is, it's considered to be at home because the ruler of Cancer is the moon. And so it's almost like it magnifies or it intensifies what that sign is all about. Now that sign, Cancer, is all about your inner wisdom, your intuition, your empathy and your emotional wisdom. So this is a very important time to really allow that introspection, because with it being the last quarter phase of the moon, we're heading towards the new moon, which we will be influenced by next week. Now, what makes this one really kind of juicy or magnified for us is not only is it that Cancer is the ruler of the moon, or the moon is the ruler of Cancer, the sun is in the sign of Libra. So that's what we're dancing with this week, is really looking at or getting in touch with our own intuitive nature, but also how we interact with others. The Cancer sign is also very much about our bonds, our relationships with others, using our emotions to share who we truly are and invite that from our family around us. Are there family members that you've kind of lost touch with, that you've been thinking about them, or maybe they've been trying to get a hold of you? This is a week to maybe reignite the connections that maybe have kind of fallen away. And with it being influenced by Libra, Libra is all about balance, right? So, of course, now that I've said all that, of course, any kind of relationship that we have with others around us, it always begins with our relationship with ourselves. So how does that feel? How does that feel? And how lovingly and kindly do you talk to yourself about yourself? How much do you allow yourself to really just find your rhythm, your way of balance? And maybe that's part of this week also, is to find your balance of caring for you, because self-care is also a really big piece in this energy too. So do you put yourself at the top of your priority list? Maybe it's time for a wee bit of change. Maybe it's time to honor and recognize that it is essential. And I've talked to you about this before, about the essential nature of sacred self-care, is you've got to fill your cup first in order to care for or connect with or tune in to the needs of those around you. So it's to give the analogy that I like to talk about is that we can't pour from an empty cup. So therefore we got to keep filling. It's not just a once and done, it's a keep filling our cup and then give from our saucer. How does that translate to you, and what is your need for self-care? And talking about self-care, I'm inviting you to step into all aspects of you. So this is what I talk about as your PEMS check-in. So that's your physical well-being, your emotional well-being, mental well-being, and spiritual well-being. All four of those must be looked after, and then it allows you to really cultivate beautiful connections with those around you. I trust that makes sense. Take a nice deep breath. This is the lunar and actually solar energies that we are influenced by this week. But let's get into pulling some cards. Take a nice deep breath. I don't think I've suggested a breath yet. Nice deep breath. The first card we pull on these sessions is the letting go guidance system that I've developed. That's what this is. So as we come in contact with our inner wisdom, with our feelings, with our intentions, with our soul desires, there's always things that we can look at letting go. Because as we continue on our evolution, I always think of our evolution as a spiral upwards. Sometimes things get repeated, but there's always a dance to it and a reason for it. Oh, so interesting. The one that's come up for us to let go of is anger or resentment. So I mentioned a moment ago about how do you communicate to yourself about yourself. Is there any kind of propensity to get irritated or ticked off with things that you have or have not done? As I'm saying that too, I mentioned that the influence of this last quarter phase of the moon in the sign of Cancer is also about reconnecting with family members or deepening the connection with family members or friends or even our fur family, our fur babies could even be there too. Are there relationships that have maybe kind of diminished because of any sense of anger or resentment from them or you? So just feel into that. If anything I say on these sessions trigger you or you need a wee bit more guidance or support, please put it in the comments below or message me directly. These ideas are intended to really help you get in touch with your right way forward and then navigate. Because life happens. A friend of mine always says that life gets lifey sometimes. So sometimes we have to kind of go, oh wait, I need to press pause, or I need to ask for some help, or I need to just have somebody hold space for me while I work something through. So like I said, reach out to me or reach out to somebody if you need to have some support or guidance in some way. So now moving into the wisdom of the tarot, let's see what we do. One card from the tarot. Oh, this is beautiful. The card that's come up for us here is the Knight of Cups. I love that so much with that idea of the moon being in the sign of Cancer, because the Knight of Cups is all about walking forward, taking action, moving forward, but based upon emotional wisdom, emotional guidance. So there's a question, if you've watched these sessions before, you know that one of my favorite questions to suggest you use is, how do I feel about myself here? Here being taking this direction or that direction, saying yes to this or no to that. How does this make me feel about me? The Knight of Cups would be really, really aligned with that question, because you want to be looking for things that sometimes, the right direction for us might make us feel a wee bit trepidatious. We might feel a wee bit of a wobble, but there's this sense of, oh gosh, this is so yummy. This is something that's in my highest and best outcome or desire or direction. So that's what I'm saying, is that we want to look for that sense of yes. That even if there's a wee bit of a wobble or a, oh my gosh, what if, there's still a sense of, I'm not quite sure, but there's something for me in here. So follow that. Allow that wisdom to come from your heart space. And take another nice deep breath. Now we're moving on. Now I gave these cards a really big shuffle before I came on live today, just because this is the Intuitive Whispers Oracle. I've been finding that there's been repetitions. Not too repetitious here, but I just wanted to make sure that we were kind of cleansing the deck in between our sessions. So the first one, I love this. It's time to shine. It's time for you to shine. It's time for you to access your inner light, your inner wisdom, and share it. Share it with the community around you. Share it with the collective. That's what is so important. Now, you know how I suggested using my suggested question of how does this make me feel about me? Sometimes we can feel a bit resistant to that question because we feel like, oh my gosh, I have to keep doing this to draw in what I'm after. And why I'm saying that to you is that this card that's come up for us today is what is meant for you will find you. So if there's a propensity for you to strive or to push or to feel like, oh my gosh, I have to keep doing and doing and doing without really just going, I need to find my best rhythm. I need to fill my cup first and then trust that everything that is meant for you will come in. It'll happen. And then evolving yourself into this spacious mind and soul. And that's a beautiful one too, to following on from that, is that maybe this is a time for you to recalibrate your being and doing aspects, your masculine and feminine. We all have masculine and feminine within us. The masculine is the doing energy, the push forward, the get things done. And the feminine is the being, the take your time, nurture yourself, get in touch with your emotions, and trust. Trust that it is all unfolding in the best, most auspicious way for all of us, even if our chattering mind might have us think something different. That's a big one. So, like I said, if this triggered anything or you need a bit more support or guidance, just let me know. And now I'm going to wrap this session up and send you off into this beautiful week ahead. But we wrap this up with one of my Liberate Your Inner Truth Oracle. So just like I said, taking another nice deep breath. Let's see what wisdom wants to make itself known for us this week. And it is, I am aspiring. Kind of cool. It's card number 44. That's a power number right there. So I am aspiring. You are aspiring. We all are. That's why I'm saying we need to look after ourselves, and we need to get in touch with our feelings, and we need to find our right rhythm, our right balance. And that's my intention, to help you kind of navigate and steer towards. So let me read this out to you. As I continue my journey in life, I am always aspiring to be the next best version of me. I allow my mind ample space and time to percolate, nurture, and blossom new ideas and options. I love that because that makes me feel like it's referring to this card that I just said came up for that spacious mind and soul. Thank you for watching, my dear friends. I wish you a superb week ahead, and I'll be back again with you next week. Much love to you.